Hey everyone, this is James. Welcome to Dudes Can Craft 2. Some of the crafts I do is sewing, which is when they started me doing a lot of crafting. I then moved to candle making, and now I'm currently doing resin. But what's unique about sewing is my sewing stuff always come up, because now I'm starting to order vinyl and play with vinyl. Sorry, just one of my vinyl rolls spilt over there. I mean, not spilt, rolled over. And as you can see, this is a sweater you can't buy anywhere. But it's one of the sweaters that I made. And it's the very first one I ever made. So it has some imperfections and everything, but it's very comfortable. But the imperfections I know, and someone else may not notice. Mostly on the inside, you can see some of the stitching is not perfect. But like I said, it was the first one I ever made, and your first one typically never comes out the way it's supposed to, but there's always ways to fix the mistake from it. But today, what I'm going to be doing today here as my first video is I'm going to be making me a pair of boxers. I'm going to be going to Disneyland here shortly in a few weeks, and I felt very fast. I'm like, you know what? Let's make some Disney stuff. So this videos is going to be me making all my videos sewing for my Disney, because after I make the boxers, the next is I'm going to make a sweater. And then I want to possibly make a t-shirt. So it depends on time, because I do work full-time and I'm also a full-time student, and I'm missing some fabric. Haha, behind me. So the pattern we're using today is men's Gable boxer briefs. It gives you short, mid, and long lengths. And it's made for mermaids. And the pattern is brought to you made for mermaids. As you can see, you know, they did solid colors. And what's unique about this pattern is I had taken it and I had done different things on it, and I have combined stuff where I just learned how to kind of piece the pattern together, because all it is a very simple pattern. And what's unique about, you know, patterns like these are when you print them on the computer, you know, compared to your standard pattern that you get from like Joann's, from your craft store. You print them out and you have to put them together, and you take the pieces together and just follow your cut lines for your sizes. What else do you like about it? If you print in the color, you can see the color lines and awesome stuff. And it's like that, but you know, the lines are different, and you know, you can see the color. And you can also write on this a lot easier than you could write on these ones. This pattern is really easy. There's two cuts you got to do. You got to do the boxer base. So your fold line is here, which is also your butt. The top part is down here, and your cod piece front is here. I do label my patterns for quick reference, just in case I'm drawing a blank. I'm like, wait a minute, where do I want it? And I could just quickly place the fabric, because the fabric I'm using today is Star Wars. And that is upside down for you guys. And the material is bamboo lycra. So bamboo lycra, I like it because it's stretchy and it's thin. So you can see it, and it's thin. So, you know, for bigger guys like me, and when, you know, we sweat more because we're larger people, and heavier boxers can make you warm easier. And so I like to be comfortable and have lightweight, real material, and that's what this bamboo lycra does. And I do make most of my own boxers. I rarely buy boxers from stores anymore. For one, you know, I can make me a cool pattern for a lot cheaper than I could buy one from a store, and nobody could have this. Same thing with my shirts. I do buy the shirts and stuff. I do go back and forth, and depends on my my mood on shirts, because shirts do take some more time and stuff. And I typically like to make shirts for special occasions and for work and things like that. I will have my standard fabric shirt from the store. I do make sweaters, shirts, boxers, pajama pants. I love loungewear, so especially when I'm home, like I'm in sweats, just because it's comfortable in this wintertime. And so yeah, so like I said, it's very simple. 2 cuts, main piece, cod piece, and it's really quick. So we're gonna go do this video through it. I do got to make room because I do have a lot of other stuff on here. I'm in the process. I have so much fabric that I've decided that I need to purge. So I'm posting on different groups that I don't feel like I need to keep right now because I have like excess yards of it. I'll find my cutter. So yeah, so I gotta make sure my cutting mats are good squared away. Make sure that I have enough cutting space. And then I'm not gonna cut anything else because I do like have other projects over here. Because the next thing I'm gonna be making is a sweater. I gotta put it together. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. So one thing about this is not to make a mark is because if you cut the pattern wrong, then your fabric could be crooked. It could be, not crooked, it could be sideways or upside down. And, you know, depending who sees you in your underwear, you know, they're gonna go, huh? Or whatever. Now, on the one I showed you, if you look, pause it, yeah, that was crooked, but how that size of that fabric, I could not get it upright and have enough of it without having to do a lot of cutting and modifications. And I'm like, okay, sideways is good. So I was happy with that. So it's a very simple design. We're just going to go ahead and lay out this pattern, the fabric out. Now what I do is I do typically take my time on this part because I want to make sure the fabric is even, because don't waste fabric unless you have to waste fabric. Hopefully that music ain't too loud, but we'll turn it down. Now, if I do it right, out of 1 yard of fabric, I should be able to get 3 boxers at my size. Now, of course, smaller boxers, more you get. So, this is, you know, also has your short, medium, and long inseam depending on the length. Now, because I'm bigger, I do like the longer seam ones. And then do this here. Okay. And so, just let me change the view. I'm learning because, you know, I'm all new to this. But as you can see, you put it on the fold line, and then I'm going to try to move it up here top. The reason why I'm not doing that is because I'm going to use, like, my remote. I'll use this. You know, we'll use it. Well, not that, because that's the phone stand I'm using it for. But I use different things to hold it down so I can, so for one, you don't want your pattern to move when you're cutting. And what you always also want to do is when you're doing it is at the top, you always want to, make sure when you're up here that you pull it back and you see, you know, that's under, and that would create an issue. So one thing with bamboo lycra or even cotton lycra fabrics is they like to roll. Cotton lycra rolls more than bamboo, but you know, if you cut on that and you're trying to, like, you know, save as much fabric as humanly possible, and you cut that, you just ruin that cut because your side is not done. But it's not the end of the world. You could fix it because it's the seam and the it'll be off by a little bit, so it may not fit as good as it typically would, but it's still doable. So I don't typically try to do it right on the edge unless I know I'm like, oh my god, I'm almost out of fabric of this one. This one I do want to be careful because this is the only yard I have of this. I've been better at buying fabric and actually only buying what I need and not buying, well, what if I want to do this and what if I want to do that? You know, I've been sewing long enough where I know what I want to do and what I don't want to do, and what I'm comfortable with. No more like that, and it saves me some money. So what I want to do is I'm going to lay this out here, and I'm going to show you how you know, you could do it. So you can see, you know, I have the main pattern here and the cut piece over here. But I'm not going to leave this here because I want to do it. I'm going to pull that off, but I just want to show you your layout and so you can see your fabric, so you know that you don't need to necessarily use all the, you know, go down more because you can fit it. So I just realized I didn't put part of it on the cutting board, so I'm going to use some scissors and some rotor blade. What I do like about rotor blades, it is quicker to you just glide it and you cut it. And now, since the rest is, I'm going to use my wonderful scissors. Usually I'm a little bit better about this. I have the mats down, but with me doing the filming for the first time, the camera's on it, I didn't want to mess with it. But this is how I used to cut, and I was not a huge fan of it because I'm not the best straight scissors cutter, but I'm a good rotor cutter, which is interesting. So if you're new to crafting and you want to get, you know, craft scissors, there are a difference between scissors, craft scissors, and your paper scissors. Never use your, if your fabric scissors are fabric, use it for fabric only. $1, $60. And don't let people use them for other things. Like a certain family member decided to use this to cut rope when I was cutting fabric when we were helping nephew move. And I had a lot of fleece. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to use this anymore because I don't like it. So I'm like, well, we could pack it up and, you know, use it to move some of the breakables. And he saw it and needed to cut the rope, and he cut the rope. So now we're done with cutting that out. We're going to put the pattern away, which we did is reusable. And I usually just put them to the side. But as you can see, you know, I have my scrap pieces. I do have a scrap pin back there. I'm going to hold this up. And you can see, you know, the pieces and how it comes together, which we'll show you more later on. Now, if you're a beginner, I don't recommend doing that because, you know, you can get you confused. I have made so many of these that I could unfold it in my sleep. So we do have 2 pieces of fabric, and we don't need to fold for the cod piece. So all you gotta do is lay it out, put this with the scrap bin, take a cod piece, and do it. Now, what I like to do is on the cod piece, it's depending on the pattern and the fabric, I will lay it out to try to match, to make sure, because depending, you know, what you're doing, you know, you want certain things. Like on the other one I made, my meat one, you want to make sure that, you know, it's going to do what you want to do and not give you any issues. Hang on, sorry, I'm trying to